Welcome to another Q&A. This Q&A is called Who's Your Competition Now? Right? Because as we go into more challenging times, let's call it that, I just want to cover some of the things, some of the perspectives that you could have and some of the things that I've got from my own experience. When things are good and we're just cracking along, it's very natural for you to consider that your competition is the other guy who does what you do, right? Because he could take your job and the customer's going to get that job done, right? But now, as consumer confidence drops, and if you provide a non-essential service in the mind of the person who's your customer, then you are competing against all other non-essential services, all other non-essential purchases. So if, for example, your window cleaning service, let's say it's $500, right, to provide that service to their home, and they are becoming more cautious and more prudent with how they spend their money, and not even prudent particularly, but they feel like they're being prudent, then you're up against weekends away, dining out, the total sum of Disney, Hulu, Netflix, and
something else, even YouTube Premium, Spotify.
YouTube Premium, yeah, I've resisted that one. So all of the subscription services, right? People are going to start challenging how many subscription services they need in their home, and so should you. And so you're starting to compete with this available money. So your real competitor is from the disposable income that any household perceives that they have, which is unlimited to the high net worth individual, right? So if you've got high net worth customers, this is probably not going to affect you so much. But you don't have to worry about the other window cleaner as your competitor or the other pressure washer as your competitor right now. So a lot of what you want to look at is, how are your customers going to assign money? Now, why do I say this? The most important thing is because before, in good times, somebody says, how much is a service? And you say $500, and they go, oh, $500, that's a lot of money. And you go, well, if you can't afford it, then see ya, right? And it's kind of like, loser, you can't afford me, why don't you ring my competitor? He's the $99 guy, like that. And I think that this is worth adjusting during this time. So what can you do? Well, there was one thing which I used to do. I used to do it for all the time, actually, for old people who are retired and on pensions. And they would say, can I have a pension to discount? And I go, I ain't got time for a pension to discount. However, what I can do is offer you 20% if I can ring you in a morning and provide the service in the same day. In other words, if I get a cancellation or I get a rain day or I get just a gap in my schedule, I can drop a truck into that spot, right, and give them 20% off. So you can apply that same thinking to people who are struggling, right? You say $500 and they say, oh, $500. I don't think we've got, whatever they say, you've got to understand this is what they're meaning. I don't think we have $400 of disposable income that I can comfortably and safely assign to this window cleaning project.
Because I've got Hulu, Netflix.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. It's not because I want to find a cheaper guy.
School textbooks to buy.
School fees, like everything. And they're going to go to essentials and non-essentials, and then consumer confidence says, even though I've got the money, I don't know that I'm going to have my job once they start seeing people lose jobs and stuff like that, if it happens, right? So with a little bit of empathy, you just add empathy to the situation. You can say to them, look, I understand that 500 is a lot. If I could do it for 400, would you be in a position to be able to go ahead? And if they say yes, and you say, well, our $400 for this exactly the same service is what we call, last minute call or something. And it works like this. If we ever get a gap in our schedule, right, we ring you in the morning and say, we have a gap in our schedule. If we can come to your place at 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. or 3 p.m., right, we can provide exactly the same $500 service for $400, right? We win because we fill a slot. You win, you save $100, right? So that's one way to deal with this. The second way is that you can say to people, look, we can put it on a subscription so that you don't have to put $500 out. Maybe you can put $250 down, and then we can just come to an arrangement that you pay me $50 a month for 5 months. And then in the 6th month you're clear. If you want me to come back, we're ready to roll again. So you could set up some sort of little payment plan which makes it a little bit easier on people's cash flow so that you can get the money that you need and they can fit it inside their disposable cash carefreeness, where they don't care, that little zone there where they allow that money to pass, right? And so then you'll say, well, some people won't pay. And the truth is some people won't pay. So what you want to make sure is that the money that you ask for up front covers you and your wages and salaries and overheads and insurances and all that sort of thing. And so you're only gambling with your profit, right? And so we know statistically that most people are good people, especially if they ask for window cleaning, because they're really a higher echelon of consumer. So you could understand that, even if you said out of every 10 customers that you entered into a 5 times payment, 50% exposure, then you've got basically 500% and you're going to lose 50% if these people wouldn't have gone ahead without the strategy. So for every 10 times 500, you've got 5,000, and you're going to lose 1 in 10 for half of 500, 250. Yeah? So you're going to lose 250 on 10,000 of the people that would not have done business with you without the strategy, right? Then you go, that's not going to kill you, So my comment about, who's your competition now and how to deal with it is that, turn things, just keep thinking. Don't just stay rigid with your, good times strategy. Yeah. Like at the time that I'm recording this, it's Hurricane Ian is coming into Florida, and you can't just sit on the balcony in a banana chair. There's trouble coming, and if there's trouble coming, you've got to batten up put some wood over some windows and prepare your house and prepare your property and go underground if you have to go underground or whatever it is. But the intention is that the storm, this too shall pass, and you want to be there and able to continue with one strategy or another, to come out the other side. Yeah. So, so think as creatively as you can. And if you've got any ideas of things that the old guys, the guys who've been through several, 1989 through to 2008, the big financial events, then any ideas and strategies that you came up with then or you've heard of since then, leave them in the comments below, and then we can talk about them. If they're really cool and they need some explanation and discussion, then I can actually turn them into a Q&A, and we can, make some content out of this topic. Yeah. Okay. So good luck. Be strong through what's coming, and then hopefully it doesn't come. Hopefully the Cat 4 turns into a Cat 1 or a tropical storm, and we're all good. Okay. See you in the next one.